Come on, BTC.
Testing. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It's the 7th of January, 2025. The end of the bull run is nigh, and we got back above $100,000 yesterday. It was a good day for the bulls, but there's not a lot of liquidity knocking around. And what I said yesterday, I am going to go through again today. For those of you that have missed it, I'm still not going to change from my target of a correction in January. So we're going to go through all of that. We have a lot to cover, but it's not going to be as heavy as it was yesterday. I try and mix it up. Some days we'll have lots and lots of charts. Other days we'll have lots and lots of gossip. Today, We are going to look at MicroStrategy and what their strategy is. We're going to look at ETH. ETH is going to have a good quarter one based on history alone. We're going to look at the Sonic SVM, which I think is tomorrow or Thursday when that comes out. Pengu, the airdrop. What is the price target for Pengu? Is it worth holding if you've got the airdrop? Or if you sold it, should you be looking to buy back in anytime soon? We'll look at the Trump memes. We haven't looked at them for a while. I'm going to bring up the CoinMarketCap list so we can go through those as well. And then we're going to go through Do Kwon. And Do Kwon wasn't going to be extradited to America. Then he was, then he wasn't, and now he is. And he's pleaded innocence over there, I believe. He's going to be under trial for the next God knows how many months. Probably going to be sentenced. I don't see him getting away with it. We do have a poll question of the day. Will the Trump inauguration crash crypto? So far, I believe, if I look closely, 3/4 of people believe that it will not. Oh, it will crash crypto. Now that's good because that coincides with what I think. I think the 20th or thereabouts is where we do have a little bit of a breakdown. I watched Ben Cowan this morning very quickly. He had his dubious speculation video out. If you've never watched Ben Cowan, go and watch one of his 15 or 20-minute videos. Don't watch the hour and a half matinees because they are great for helping you sleep, as he will admit himself. But he is thinking that we're not going to see that correction because we've already had the 15% correction in December. I'm going to stick to my January correction simply because that's what's happened in the last 3 years. And nobody knows. I don't know. He doesn't know. Nobody has a crystal ball. But we do look for patterns in charts to try and give us an indication of where things are going. For those of you that are new here, smash the like button, say hello in chat. 188,000 followers, 200,000 this year would be fantastic. And of course, we do try and stream every day, but I'm not streaming tomorrow. I wasn't supposed to stream today, but my doctor has called in sick, so I'm going to go and see him tomorrow. And that is pretty much the intro. Let's get on with the X-Files, which are, of course... Actually, no, we're not getting on with X-Files. What we're talking about, look at the charts first. Bitcoin coming in just under 102,000. Ethereum coming in $3,700 seems to be the next level of resistance for Ethereum. XRP holding strong. BNB is one of those coins that you don't see moving. It moves. It was $200 not long ago. Then it was $500, then $600. Now it's $725. I've got a very low expectation for BNB in the bull run. I don't think we're going to see more than $1,000 to $1,500. Now that is a big range, I admit, and that is a big move in the market cap. But I don't see it hitting $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I can see it getting $1,200, and that's not a bad thing. I don't think BNB is something you should discount because of that. I think it's a solid coin. I like the rewards that you get from holding BNB on the platform. I like the coin itself. So I'm not negative on it. I just don't think it's going to rip to the upside and hit Moon Boy maths. Solana's coming at 214. Doge. I wish Doge didn't exist, but we can't have everything we want in life. Cardano is 9th, and Tron makes up the top 10. And if we look slightly further down, Sui, 12th. Sui is probably, I would argue, going to break into the top 10 in the next 2 or 3 months. Does it deserve to be there? I would say it's not. The same way that when Toncoin was running up towards 8th position, I was saying that this is overvalued. I don't believe Toncoin is a top 10 coin, or a top ton coin, should I say. That's down to 14th. Coins have different days in the sun. They have different phases where they rip and rip and rip, and then they need to retrace. They need to basically cool down a little bit. And Toncoin might have another run into the top 10. Sui might get up towards 9th and then retrace. But again, if we look at Sui and Chainlink and Toncoin, Sui and Ton have absolutely ripped in the last 6-9 months. Chainlink's been slowly moving up. Okay, I do have a big target for for Chainlink, $80 to $100 in this bull run, but I don't know if I can. I mean, people are talking about Sui going to $20. It's achievable based on the market cap. I'm not going to say no, it's not, but I think it might come down a bit. Once it breaks into the top 10, then people might take profits at $10 and then it will retrace. That's what I'm thinking for that. Now, gainers then. Again, FTX token, don't go near that token. It's a zombie coin. It's not attached to anything. It's a waste of time. Don't go near that. BTT, not a fan of. Obviously, we've got an exchange token in there. Hedera's doing well. WorldCoin, after me slating it yesterday, has pumped. Absolutely typical. But again, I won't hold any of that. Losers, virtuals. Again, the coins that are losing here are the AI coins, but they're not really. Look at the year to date of some of these AI coins. Again, you're going to see the narrative this year being AI. It was meme coins last year. It's now going to be AI. I'm going to make a video about it. Not a very complex video, detailed video. More to basically stop you from DJing into anything that's got AI in the title. So we're going to do that at some point. But I need to get on because we have a lot to get through. And I don't want to spend too long on anything because as I'm getting back into things, I want to make sure that I don't start to lose my speed at keeping going through the news. You're not here to listen to my opinions on absolutely everything, so I'll try and keep them as quick as possible. We've not had one of these in a while. Okay? This is what you go through holding crypto, okay? You don't know what's going to happen from one week to the next. But what you do know is that there is an end to the journey. Okay? Now, there's going to be lots of these dips along the way. You're going to see, we're probably going to see an $85,000 Bitcoin again. We're probably going to see $120,000 Bitcoin in the same month or two. Look at last year. We were down below $50,000. Everybody called the end of Bitcoin. Then we were back at $60,000, $65,000 before you could say pessimist. So just remember, Bitcoin goes down all the time and it goes up in very short spurts. The majority of your journey in crypto is watching Bitcoin going sideways and down. And then you will have a few bright days where Bitcoin will rip to the upside. It will move from 102 to 110,000 in the space of maybe 2 or 3 days. But then it will spend 2 or 3 weeks going sideways or down. That's just the way it works. Now then, Dan, Crypto Trades, again, very, very sensible Dutch guy that I follow. Bitcoin has only just started the price discovery phase. We're now in the first full week of the post-halving year, which is historically the most bullish year of the cycle. It is. And that is something you need to keep in the back of your mind. I'll give you a Man United analogy. So the new Man United manager, Amorim, they won a couple of games and he said, there's a storm coming, but we need to stick to our principles and go forward. And then what happened is Man United lost 3 games on the trot. Everybody said they were the worst team in the world, and then they went and got a draw at probably the best team in Europe. That's the way crypto works. There is a storm coming in January, in May, in September possibly. And I'm going to keep telling you about these storms because as we go up, you suddenly think we're going to be at $150,000 next month. We're not. There is a good chance we're going to correct in January. We've done it every year for the last 3 years. This could be an exception, but we also corrected in the post-halving year in 2021. So it's not as if I'm telling you anything that's new. I'm looking at history. Now, if Trump comes out and says, we are going to call ourselves the United States of Bitcoin, and then he's going to pay all of his staff in Bitcoin, and then he just decides to go and spend the entire treasury on Bitcoin, of course we're going to keep going up. But that's not the real world. We're going to go down. Prepare yourselves for a correction. Now then, these are the top Solana ecosystem projects by development. We look at these from time to time. This isn't to tell you where the price action is going to go on these coins today. This is showing you what they're building. So maybe in the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to see these coins pump. Some of these coins I like, some of them I don't like, and some of them I'm very neutral on. So of course, number one is Solana. Pith, I keep calling it Pive, and people out there keep telling me I'm an idiot. Pith is second. Then we have Drift, we have Wormhole. Helium I'm not a big fan of. Helium Mobile, again, same thing. Gito is up there, Metaplex, Marinade. Some of the usual suspects are in there, and that's because these guys build, and they were building in the bear market, and they're building in the bull market. Some people don't stop, some people build, and they time their projects for 2025 because they know that's the bullish year. The one problem I had with Polygon, all the great news that came out of Polygon came out in the bear market. And that was a strategic mistake. And they came out of the bear market and the price action wasn't great. And they've got some amazing projects over there that we talk about all the time, the ag layer being the most important one. But they launched all of their bullish news in the bear market in 2023. It's lost on everybody. The projects that are launching in 2025, perfect example is Cardano connecting up to Bitcoin. That's going to happen this year, and Charles is going to demonstrate it, I think probably in September. He's going to demonstrate it at the Bitcoin conference. So Cardano, at some point, when the news comes out that they're starting to process the transactions, is going to absolutely rip. The $4 target that I covered yesterday is not a bad target. End of the bull run, $5 to $7, I think is still realistic. But he's timed it for the bull run. Solana is timing a lot of their up-and-coming releases for the bull run. Now, whether it's naivety on the part of Polygon, maybe. Maybe they were trying to get a head start on everybody else, and that's where the problem lies. Now then, the liquidations heat map, again, there's not an awful lot to report from here. I just wanted to bring this up to show you that, of course, there are, what are we, 189 million. Now, we've had a big move, really. We had a $2,000 move. The liquidations weren't high. For me, that's a positive sign. It means that there is not too much in the way of leverage. A lot of the times when you see a move with a $2,000 Bitcoin move or a $100 Ethereum move, you see people getting wrecked left, right, and center. We didn't see that yesterday. That could be very much down to the fact it's the start of the new year. Most people aren't back until today and tomorrow, so maybe it's to do with that. Now, crypto bubbles, one thing I want to show you is the daily and the weekly are both green. Recency bias makes you think we're in a great period. Until you go to the monthly, a lot of coins are still down. You'll see, again, we've been talking about AI coins yesterday. A lot of the AI coins are up. A16Z, AI16Z, not the one I would be picking because I think the market cap of 2 billion, it might need a correction. It's pumped an awful lot. Virtuals has been correcting today. That's 131%. But you will look at the daily and you look at the weekly, you'll see the green bubbles, you'll see the green candles, and you'll think you're in a good time. You've got to go out a little bit. And this is where we are over the last, 365 days. Lots of green, but recency bias, remember, there's a lot of bargains out there. So if you look at some of the bigger coins, they're not really up. You know, picking up Solana at $216 is not a bad price, but picking up Sui at $5 is probably buying Sui at its all-time high. So the bubbles are a good thing to use every once in a while. I don't tend to use them very often because the majority of other crypto streamers out there throw up bubbles and their versions of bubbles. But as a once in a while indicator of where we are, it's not a bad thing. Now, MicroStrategy is continuing to buy Bitcoin, another $100 million. Michael Saylor was in the press this week talking about when he passes, got to be very careful these days what you say for people turning you off and things. When he passes, his keys will be lost. Now, just bear in mind, he doesn't mean the MicroStrategy keys. When he passes, he is not going to take the keys to MicroStrategy with him. He's talking about his personal Bitcoin. That needs to be cleared up, okay? Because MicroStrategy is on an absolute tear. And the more value there is in MicroStrategy, the more shares they can issue, the more Bitcoin they can buy, the more the price of Bitcoin goes up, the more the price of MicroStrategy goes up, which means it can issue more shares. Can you see the issue here? Now, there is an argument to be made that it's a massive bubble. And if there's a correction to the downside, it's going to absolutely flatten Saylor and MicroStrategy. And maybe in the bear market, they're going to have a problem. But for now, the grass is green. The issue is you're not going to see many exchanges going out of business at this stage of the market, simply because there's a lot more trading going on. If you want to know when exchanges were going out of business, you want to look towards the end of 2022, the middle of 2023. That's when they were suffering with low volume, low revenue, fees generated. They were laying people off. You're not going to see too much in the way of bearish news now. But again, be careful, because in 12 months' time, or 15 or 16 months' time, that's when market starts to correct. And a lot of these people that have taken on too many staff, or MicroStrategy or whatever, they might start getting their positions closed, and then they're in trouble. But they are being buoyant. The other thing that's important about this is to remember, at this moment in time, retail is not buying Bitcoin. The retail isn't here yet. The retail that's going to pump your bags at the end of this bull run, they haven't arrived. It's institutions buying the Bitcoin right now. It's the BlackRocks. It's the MicroStrategies. It's the Japanese version of MicroStrategy. I can't remember the name of them now. I can't remember the name. It'll come to me. These are the people that are buying the Bitcoin. They're getting in early. And this is great for us. As I showed you yesterday, the Bitcoin on exchanges is falling. When retail turns up, if they take another 50,000 Bitcoin off the exchanges between them, or $100,000 off the exchanges between them, it's just going to cause more of a supply shock. And that supply shock is coming. And I tell you about it. It's not going to be here today or tomorrow. It might not even be here in this bull run. But at some point, we're going to get to the stage where either Bitcoin is at $400,000 or $500,000, or there are 200,000 or 300,000 Bitcoin on exchanges. And either of those two things are good for you. The supply shock is good for the price action, and the Bitcoin price is good for you, of course. So this is just, Michael Saylor is going to be looked back on in 5 or 6 years' time as either a genius or an example of somebody that led the biggest bubble of the last 100 years. And I don't think it's a bubble, but of course I am going to say that, aren't I? Because we talk about crypto. I think, if anything, Bitcoin isn't a bubble, but I do think maybe we get to the point where the price of Bitcoin does become a bubble, and it does need to burst, and it does need to become realistic. I don't think we're at an unrealistic price right now. I think we are at $102,000. We showed you a lot of the corrections yesterday, showing you where we are. Reason I brought the chart up again today, I don't normally do the same charts, is we could, going back to the daily, we could do what we did last year and just do this for the rest of Q1. Now, that might sound boring to you. If Bitcoin goes sideways and the alts have a breather from Bitcoin sucking up all the liquidity, if Bitcoin's going sideways, that's going to give you an altcoin pump. So Bitcoin going sideways for the next 2 or 3 months is another scenario to look at. If it does, we could see Ethereum going to $4,500, $4,000. We could see Solana back at $250 to $300. We could see a lot of these things happening. So don't think that Bitcoin being boring for 2 months is a bad thing for the market. It also gives the bull market support band time to also move up a little bit. So when Bitcoin eventually does come down to reach it, instead of being at 82,000, it might be at 90,000. And then if we go from 102, 105,000 to 90, It's not a massive dump, is it? What would it be? 10% dump? So I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but it's another scenario. I think we're going to get a January correction to the downside. Maybe we go to 108 and then come back down to 82. Or maybe we don't do any of that. And maybe we've had the correction in December and maybe we just go sideways for a little bit like we did last year. If you go back to what we did last year, we went sideways from March to October. What's that? 6 months, 7 months we went sideways for. If we did the same thing this year, it would bore the pants off everybody, okay? And it's very unlikely that we do that because, of course, we've got Trump coming in or whatever. But it would indicate that the blow-off top comes in November, another indicator. And if we do move sideways for the next 2 or 3 months, the alts will catch up. If we move sideways for 2 or 3 months, the alts catch up, you can take some profits because, again, there's going to be a correction around May or June time. There always has been. This is a seasonal effect on the market as well. However, there's so many things that can change everything we talk about on here, which is why you should never take these things as gospel. If Trump comes in and says we're going to start buying Bitcoin from the 1st of January 2026, that might cause the markets to correct. We have the Labour numbers coming out on Friday. Next week, we have an FOMC meeting. After that, we have the inauguration. Each one of those things has the potential to put downward bearish pressure on Bitcoin, but it also has the potential to rip us to the upside. On Friday, the jobs market comes out. It tells us that we're not going to head for a recession. Bitcoin could be back at 108,000, or there could be an extra 500,000 people unemployed in America, and the price comes back down to 98,000. So again, I can't predict the future. I can go off patterns, and the pattern says we're going to have a correction in January, and then we're going to have an alt-ish season in the first quarter. But that's, again, only my opinion, and you're all entitled to yours as well. Good morning, Kishan MD. I've not read any names out, have I? Mags, good morning. I hope you are all well. Who else is in here? Velvet Rope. KB is in here. Welcome to you all. Right, let's move on very quickly. Again, I don't want to try and labour the point too much because I could be completely wrong, but just be careful. Now, Vitalik suggests temporary limits on AI development. There he is, the man in charge of the second biggest blockchain in the world. And I have to say, I think he needs a good meal inside him. He looks and has looked ill ever since I've seen him. Maybe he's vegan. I don't know. Maybe he has a health condition that I don't know about. But when you're in charge of the biggest blockchain in the world, I think you have a responsibility to look after yourself and be healthy. Michael Saylor just looks ill all the time. He looks ill all the time. Charles is putting himself into darkened caves and putting himself in ice baths. Again, these people need to look after themselves. So he believes that there should be a soft pause on industrial scale computing to delay the development of super AI, super intelligence AI, providing humanity with time to address the potential risks. And again, it's a double-edged sword with everything, isn't it? Every invention comes along and there's good and there's bad. The internet came along, there's good and there's bad. Nuclear power came along, there's good, there's bad. AI is just another one. And it's going to be, according to the commentators, the most existential threat to humanity that there's ever been, okay? But again, asteroids took out the dinosaurs, so let's talk about real existential threats. I think the money markets and the markets in general have the biggest cause for concern. Crypto, yes, there is a cause for concern. But this is a bit of a this is a bit of a detour from what Vitalik has been talking about in the past. A lot of what he's been saying in the past has been neither here nor there. And he's been talking on things that I haven't agreed with, but he's entitled to his opinion. With this one, I think he's caught onto a theme that he's right. And I think because of his position, because he is so well respected in the industry, I think he could be one of the people to help push back against the likes of Sam Altman. Remember, Sam Altman is, in AI terms, our number one enemy. He's taken a charitable non-profit business and turned it into a profit business. He has slashed the departments that work on the health and safety side, or the safety side of AI. And he really is the person that we need to hold accountable. I know Elon Musk is suing him. I think between Vitalik, Elon Musk, and maybe China, America, and the UK, who are the three leading AI authorities, I think they could put in some safeguards to stop this, because once the genie is out of the bottle, you can't put it back in. Once the internet became a thing, once crypto became a thing, you can't go backwards. It's a one-time only thing. And just as crypto has now got adoption, AI is going to get adoption. I don't believe some of the stories coming out that you're all going to be unemployed in 12 months' time. That's not how it's going to work. But I do agree with Vitalik that AI needs to have some kind of control, because it's not necessarily that Sam Altman is going to create something which is all-powerful, although I do think he needs to be held accountable. I think it's when it's released to a GitHub, when it's made publicly available, when North Korea and other possible enemies of the state get access to it, that's when it becomes a problem. Not Sam Altman isn't going to create the T2000 and send people back in time to take out Michael Saylor or whatever it might be. But just be careful. Right then, Ethereum. We haven't looked at Ethereum in a very long time. We haven't looked at the charts in a very long time. It's done nothing. Ethereum, while Bitcoin has been racing to all-time highs, time and time again, just let's remember where we are with Ethereum, okay? This is Ethereum's all-time high. We haven't got near it. We've got to within the $4,000 range 3 times so far, going all the way back to February, March last year. We tried again in May, and we tried again in December, and we didn't do it. 4th time's a charm, I suppose. So Q1, what do I expect? I think in the next couple of months, we're going to see a $4,000 Ethereum. I think the narrative on Ethereum last year was overshadowed by Bitcoin. I think the people that were saying, and me especially, I was saying it at the time, before the Ethereum ETF ramped up, it looked like a damp squid. There wasn't a lot of money coming in to the Ethereum ETF. Now, if the Ethereum ETF is any kind of indicator, and retail will follow, then November was a great month for the Ethereum ETF. December was the best month for the Ethereum ETF. And I think that has gone under the radar. And the reason it's gone under the radar is because of Bitcoin and because of Donald Trump and because of the election. So in the background, the Ethereum bull case has been slowly building up. It hasn't, and it didn't blow up when the Ethereum ETF went live, because of course we had the issue with Grayscale dumping again, like it did on Bitcoin. So I think you could be looking at having another run at this $4,050 Ethereum. Now, yes, we're going to have a correction, but after the correction is only going to be a very short period of time, maybe 2 weeks. Bitcoin could end up in the green by the end of January. It could end up slightly red. But Ethereum in Q1 has not had a really bad Q1 in a very long time. So I think we should be looking at a $4,000, $4,100, maybe even $4,200 Ethereum by the end of March. And that is going to lead the altcoins. Remember, Ethereum is still an altcoin. Even though it's 17, 18% of the total market, it's still classified as an altcoin because Bitcoin is the #1 cryptocurrency. So if we want an altcoin season like we've never seen before, if your bags want to go up 50x, we need Ethereum to do that. So what does Ethereum need to do in the next couple of months? Break $4,000. Then what does it need to do? It needs to have a run at all-time highs. To get back to the previous local top of $4,000. We are 10%, nearly exactly 10% away. We're $370 away from getting back to $4,000. We're so close. So a 10% move can happen if you look back. And again, my drawing is not super great at the minute. You look back at how Ethereum moves. It can absolutely wick 10% in a few days. We could be at $4,000 by Sunday. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but we can. So for me, even though we've had all of the fun and games, Ethereum has been in this range. It entered this range probably December 2023. We did come down to it in the summer lull. We did break back out, but we haven't really moved. It's a lovely range for Ethereum. It's positioned itself really well in the race. You know, when you look at these long distance races, you don't look at the leader. They're never normally going to win the race unless they run off ahead. You always look at the person in third or fourth position in the race. Nobody's talked about Ethereum. It's been Solana, it's been Toncoin, it's been Sui, it's been some of the new coins that are coming out. It's been AI coins. Nobody's talking about Ethereum. And I think that's where Ethereum can really move on. So do I think we've still got an $8,000 Ethereum in the tank for the end of the year? Absolutely. And that's a 100% move from where we are now. That's a big move. But I do expect it to happen. So keep your eye on Ethereum. If you've got Ethereum and you're thinking to yourself, I need to dump all of this Ethereum and get into AI coins, I would strongly advise you, not financially of course, to think again. I would say keep your Ethereum bag. And if you want AI coins, go and buy it with other coins. Keep your Ethereum bag and your Bitcoin bag for at least another 4 or 5 months. Again, not financial advice. I do not want people to think that I am telling you to hold your bags. That is not what I'm trying to do. Now then, Solana's Layer 2 Sonic SVM is launching today with an airdrop for TikTok gamers. Now, I do have a TikTok account, but you don't want to go anywhere near it because I don't put anything on it. I think we've got about 600 or 700 followers. TikTok, for me, is where a lot of crypto influencers started out, believe it or not. I know Crypto. I know BitBoy. There was another one that started out over there, and then they brought their followers over to YouTube and other places. So TikTok has been a good breeding ground for the crypto influencer scene, I suppose you could call it. But this is an unusual one. This is the first one I've seen where TikTok gamers have been rewarded. It's normally been Ton and Telegram games. So this is launching today. The token will launch on Tuesday with players of a TikTok tap-to-earn game set to benefit. So it was built on top of Solana. And again, layer 2s on Solana are few and far between. It's not like Ethereum. Ethereum needs layer 2s. Bitcoin needs layer 2s because they are slower and they need, the ZK rollups that happen on Ethereum, the Arbitrums, the Optimisms, the Polygons, that's needed to keep Ethereum going. Solana doesn't really need them, but there was a trend towards the end of last year of niche-specific layer 2s. You saw it a lot with AI and gaming on Ethereum. There's a lot of layer 2s launched last year, and I think the majority of them are going to tank. I don't think any of them are going to work. But this is the first real hyped up one that we've seen. So we know about the tap to earn games, we know about Hamster Combat, and Sonic SVM launched its own tap to earn game, Sonic X, but on social video app TikTok, with a planned token on Solana rather than Telegram and Ton. There we go. We're not going to bring them up. They've got icons on. 3 months later, the gamers will receive their token allocation granted for tapping away at the app alongside the Sonic Token Generation event, which creates the token on chain, enabling for trading on January the 6th at 12 p.m, which is probably what time? 2 p.m, 1 p.m now. So in a couple of hours, the airdrop will be sent out. The Sonic token will serve as the backbone for our expanding tap-to-earn ecosystem, powering everything from game integrations to AI agent integrations. According to this thread, we don't talk about that now. What would I say about this? Something you need to be aware of. When you get a an airdrop, when you get rewards from a different chain. I have a very loose rule of thumb. If you get an airdrop for a tap to earn game, sell it. If you get an airdrop from a blockchain that doesn't have any value outside of clicky or outside of hype, you sell it. If you get an airdrop from a pre-existing project, or a project that has a roadmap, or a project that has proper tokenomics and a proper team behind it, you go and you decide if you like that project. And if you do, you hold it. I held my Jupiter airdrop. I sold my Pith airdrop. I have sold every single airdrop I have been given in the last 12 months, apart from ones I can count on one hand. I kept Pengu, which we're going to look at in a minute, and I'm going to tell you why I held that. I held Jupiter, as you are aware of, and I have held Zeus. And pretty much everything else I have sold, or I've converted it into Ton, or converted it into Sol. Where is the value today on the Sonic blockchain? Where is the value proposition of this layer 2? There isn't one. It is potential. It is potential for a gaming layer 2 on Solana, and that is huge. But the price of the token shouldn't reflect the potential of something. It should represent the value of it today. With the exception, if you go off and look at mining stock, miners that mine gold or diamonds or whatever, they are normally priced 1 or 2 years ahead. Crypto should be a profits-based decision-making process. And that's why I can't side with meme coins, because they don't really do anything. Sonic could very well be one of the best, if not the best gaming blockchains in 2 or 3 years' time. But we don't care about 2 or 3 years' time. We care about November. So I am going to see what happens to this token in the first hour, 2 hours of trading, and then I'm probably going to sell it. Now, if it pumps, it will dump. If it dumps, it will pump. That's happened with the majority of non-click to earn game airdrops. So that's why I would say to you, if you've got this token, if you've got an airdrop of it, and you've got it from a click to earn game, think about what everybody else is going to do with that token. They're going to sell it. If you are watching this now and you've got a head start on them and it pumps and it goes up 100% in the first hour, sell it, because it's not going to keep going up. It doesn't have a value proposition just yet. That's what I would say on this. And I didn't know whether to talk about this today, because I don't want you to think I'm telling you to sell every airdrop, because some of them you might like. Now, Pengu, I'm going to show you why I held Pengu. If I'd have got an airdrop for Pengu and it was a brand new token that didn't have any history or any background, I'd have sold it on day one. But it's not a standalone token, and it does have a history because it comes from Pudgy Penguins, which is one that makes it a little bit bigger so we can see it. It comes from Pudgy Penguins. So Solana's new meme coin, Pudgy Penguins, Pengu, surged up 7%, hit 2.85 billion. It's already got quite a large market cap. So again, we're going to look at the chart in a minute, and I'll tell you where I think this is going to go. Now, at a time when a lot of meme coins were dumping, Pengu came out and didn't really correct too much. So the price action was pretty good. A couple of my friends got the airdrop as well. They messaged me on WhatsApp and said, should we sell? I said, I think the price has bottomed. And that was at about 293. So, and thankfully, it's turned out that way. Now, we don't need to talk about it flipping optimism. We don't need to talk about any of that. What we need to talk about is, why did Pudgy Penguins and Pengu survive when most other airdrops were sold and went to zero? And the answer, I think, is because of the Pudgy Penguins team and the roadmap. So when they airdropped this token, they said, we're going to release the roadmap in a month's time. So the potential for what this token is going to be able to do and whatever in the future, it kept people holding the token. That's one reason. And the second reason, they've drawn the same chart that I've drawn, pretty much. So I might as well bring up my chart in a minute. So had you asked me, Mike, should I sell my Pudgy? I probably would have said, no, not financial advice. No, I wouldn't have sold it. And the reason is that I think it looks pretty good. And like I said, this is the same chart which they've kind of drawn, so we don't need to look at the chart there. Now, there is the meme coin season, which is probably going to come upon us. Yes, we've got the AI season at the minute. But I thought this was the reason I held on to it. It started to form a really nice bottom, which sounds really rude, but it has a really nice bottom here. And I think this is going to go up. And I could see this becoming a $5-6 billion market cap coin in the next couple of months. If Ethereum runs and we have the alt season, I could see this running up. Now, again, we're not married to tokens. We want to sell them. And when we sell them, we want to take our profits. So this, if you've got Pengu, I would be looking probably up towards maybe 5.5, 6 cents if you want to sell it soon. But I would hold it. If it's an airdrop, and the majority of you will have got it as an airdrop, then this is one of those coins where you're not going to lose out if you hold it because it was an airdrop. But when it gets to the point of making serious money for you, so let's say you got a $300 airdrop. If that's suddenly worth $600 or $700, that's when I would cash in and look to move it to a bigger altcoin. You know, move it to Solana, move it to even Jupiter, move it to, you know, some of the bigger dexes that are going to have absolute blow-off tops because trading volume goes up, the value of these dexes goes up. Uniswap, for example, look at buying those tokens for the bull run. And I'm not talking about buying them in November. I mean, if we get to 6, 7, 8 cents on this in the next couple of months, then you've still potentially got 6 to 7 months of the bull run left. That's when you can get into some of the bigger coins. Or maybe just stick it into AI coins and say, you know what, I'm going to go with AI 16Z, I'm going to go with virtuals, I'm going to buy AI XBT, whatever it might be, fine. But for me, I think it's got legs to run. And no, I haven't been sponsored by this. And the reason I'm talking about it is because, of course, I have a small bag of it. So I see the price action on my my portfolio. So I just keep an eye out on it. Right, we're moving on very quickly. The chat is really quiet today. And also the number of likes. Can you smash the like button if you're watching? That would be greatly appreciated. Right, Donald Trump related meme coins saw as his inauguration approaches. The last time we spoke about this, I think, was about October, maybe even September. And we were saying to look to sell out of your meme coins either election day, election results day, or you sell out at the inauguration. This is a buy the rumor, sell the news event, if there was ever one, okay? Now, we don't need to go through the article, but MAGA and Trump coin, MAGA and Trump, they're the two coins that we've highlighted. We don't really need to look at the price action. Let's see what the article recommends anyway. Remarkable victory. It wasn't a remarkable victory. Everybody knew it was coming. Anyone with half a brain knew it was coming. Not because he is a superior human being, but they put him up against the... I believe Harris is the worst presidential candidate that has stood in the last 20 years. Bar none. She is head and shoulders worse than anyone I've ever seen in a debate. And I've said this before, if Robert Kennedy had stood for the Democrats, I think he'd be the president of America on January the 20th this year. It wasn't anything to do with rednecks versus socialists. It was the fact that you gave people no choice. And that's why he won. But that's a different side. And on more positive news, Trudeau has stepped down. Now, again, I didn't have a problem with Trudeau when he came in. I thought he was a great leader. He looked the part. He had great ideas. And I don't know what happened to him, but he went off, and maybe it happened 2 years ago. He started to become more and more narcissistic, and it became more and more about him not looking at reality and him trying to force through his agenda. And again, I'm not getting political on here, but I'm glad he's gone. And Pierre, whatever he's called, Pierre, the incoming, probably the incoming Prime Minister of Canada, I'm not saying he's any better. He could be just another Trump. Trump with a nicer suit and a nicer hair. But I think the left has gone so far left that you give people no choice. So back to the issue of these coins. What should you be doing with them? Right, we don't need to read any more about this article, I don't think, because I want to show you this. And I want to give you my thinking on what you should do. Because I know quite a few of you have got meme-related coins. And this is, for those of you that don't know, CoinMarketCap has a really nice system of going up here and you type in a subject, you click on categories, and you can see one down here called political memes. If you click on that, it shows you a list of all the meme coins associated with political events. Now, Peanut. Everybody has taken their eye off Peanut. And Peanut the squirrel, we're not going to go into what happened, but Peanut the squirrel is no longer with us. Like Karambe or Harambe, he's no longer with us either. That's a great coin, and that could have a good run back over $1.50 to $2, but it's not a political meme in my opinion. The ones we're interested in down here are MAGA, which is coming in at 130 million. And then there should be Trump. They've changed the naming conventions on here. So yeah, you got MAGA Trump and then MAGA MAGA. Okay. If you've held these coins for some time, let me just check. What date is it today? The 7th. I think you've got 2 weeks left to sell. I think you've got 12 days left to sell these coins. So if you're in profit on these coins, I would look to hedge your bets that this is going to dump after the election. Now, it might not. It might continue to go up for the next 4 years. But if you're in profit, somebody put a tweet up today and said, if I put $5,000 into a coin last week and it's now worth $300,000, what would I do? My advice is very simple. You sell every last cent of that coin, because that coin has, what's it done, 60x'd? If you're up 78% or 55% on MAGA, and it's likely to go up maybe another 30-40% in the next week or so, take your profit. You don't own that coin for the sake of having allegiance to Trump. Maybe you sell them all but one. Maybe you hold one Trump coin, okay? Or maybe you hold 10,000 MAGA coins, just to say you held that coin when he won the election. But take your profits, okay? This is not a game of holding your bags, walking down the aisle, getting married to your MAGA tokens. No, this is about holding on to the point where you can sell and taking your profits. If you're thinking about buying any of these coins right now, again, not financial advice, I'd strongly advise you not to bother. They could very well dump tomorrow. These are meme coins that have had a good run, 78% up in a very short space of time is a good return. And again, when the incident with Trump and the sniper happened, MAGA ran up and I said, don't buy this coin until it's under $5. Made the video about it. I think it was about $8. Buy the coin at $5 or under. We're at $3 today. Don't follow the pump. Follow the dump. Follow the coin. He won the election, the coin dumped. That's when you should have bought for the inauguration. Coming in now is like buying Sui at $10 or buying Toncoin when it entered the top 10. When Toncoin was 8th, people were talking about it challenging Solana, challenging XRP and BNB. That was never going to happen. And I said at the time, this looks like it's been orchestrated. It's been manipulated. And now it's down to 12th. So no, it's not fallen completely, but it was never going to keep up its momentum. What's the momentum behind a $130 million meme coin? There isn't really. So let it run up to 200 million. Sell it, take your profits, go and buy, I don't know, Solana, go and buy Cardano, go and buy XRP, go and buy one of the coins that's going to have another 4x in this bull run. And thank Donald Trump for giving you that extra little pump in January. That's what I would do. Right then. My favourite headline of the day is this one. And it's in a Homer Simpson voice that I will do this. And that is Do Kwon is facing 130 years in prison after the $40 billion collapse. That is to do with the lunar collapse. The USTC, I think it was called, went into a death spiral 2 years ago, maybe more. He was in an Eastern European country, and then they extradited him to South Korea, and then South Korea have sent him to America, and America are going to probably try and lock him up for a long time. Is Do Kwon on the same scale as Sam Bankman-Fried? No, he is not. Sam Bankman-Fried actively tried to damage crypto and damage investors, and actively was aware of what he was doing. Do Kwon, on the other hand, is guilty of naivety and not having the safeguards in place to stop the run on Luna as it happened. I think we covered this as it happened, because this happened around the time I think we started streaming. We started streaming in 2022. So I think we caught this. But I don't believe he is as guilty. On one side, you've got the likes of Alex Mashinsky of Celsius and Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX. Both should be serving a very long prison sentence. Do Kwon is guilty of being naive. Two totally different things, in my opinion. Yes, he should probably do jail time, but I don't think he should be serving 140 years in prison. So they've extradited him. He has pleaded not guilty. Terraform Labs was shut down this year, and Luna 2 now exists under the Genesis project or the Phoenix project, whatever it's called. I still keep an eye on them. I still hold Luna 2, so I know what's going on, and I think it's still got about a $500 million market cap. I don't see it coming back in the bull run, so don't go out and start buying it. But Do Kwon is in trouble. He's in trouble, and I think he needs to prepare himself for going away for some time. I don't think he'll do 130 years. I think he'll probably get something. If Sam Bankman-Fried got 25 years, which is likely to be reduced, probably he'll do 10 or 15. I could see Do Kwon getting 15 to 20 years and maybe serving 5 or 10. Simply because there is a change in administration in America, and there is a change in the SEC, and I think he'll serve time, but I don't think they're going to push for 140 years. I don't think he is going to pass away in an American jail. I think he will make it out. Anyway, that's the second time on the trot. Good morning, Bullish Bull. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are well. I've got to the end of the stream on time. So I'm glad I've got to the end of the stream on time, because that gives me 5 minutes to go over what we're going to be covering for the rest of the week. I'm going to do a very quick AI degen video. After the stream yesterday, I thought I'm going to make a video about this with do's and don'ts. And it's going to be very similar to the meme coin one that I've done in the past, Emperor's New Clothes and all that. So I'm going to do an AI degen video. I am not going to be streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow, I am back at the hospital to have a look at my eye, make sure I am all good there. So I'll be streaming Thursday and Friday this week. So that means I'll have streamed 4 times this week. On top of the AI video, I am going to be doing a Wolf. Wolf is a 404 NFT. So what's an ERC? Sorry, an ERC 404 NFT. That is an NFT that is generated out of Wolf tokens. So I want to make a video about that. I'm going to make a video about the AI degen token. I'm going to be trying to mix up the daily streams between looking at the charts and looking at current affairs. So not every stream is going to be 20 charts deep. Not every stream is going to be full of hearsay and my opinion. There's going to be different days for different things. Fridays, we normally don't look at many charts and we take it easy and we have a nice slow day. So the chances are Thursday we will look at some charts and Friday we will have a chilled day. Don't forget, if you're new here, we try and stream every day at 11 o'clock Central European time. So make sure you follow and subscribe. Make sure you like the channel. By the way, if you want to sponsor the channel or you want to tip us, by all means, tip us. We haven't really streamed properly since the beginning of November. So somebody messaged me and said, what about the giveaways and things like that? And what about the Chronos night and whatever? I've lost a month and a half because of my eye. And that month and a half has lost the revenue we get from the sponsors, the revenue we get from making videos, the revenue we get from project reviews, all of that's gone. So we're starting from zero, okay? Now we do get the OGs. The OGs are a group of people that are subscribed to us. We do get some revenue from that, and we do get other bits and bobs. But in terms of the giveaways and the Chronos nights, that Chronos night takes 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours to prepare, getting the people in, getting the tokens in, and then giving them away. We don't make any money out of it whatsoever. So, but you get the giveaways. We gave away the hard wallet, the cold storage wallet, end of last year. Chasing up on all those kind of things, that just takes time. It's not that people don't want to do it with us, it just takes time to coordinate. So we are going to do as many giveaways as we can, but we have lost, and I'm not exaggerating, we have lost about $3,000 or $4,000 in revenue from the 6 to 8 weeks that we've not been streaming. And I can't therefore, the second that we get $100 or $500 in the door, I can't then just go and give away $200 of that, because we have to buy some more equipment. We need a new laptop. We need lots of other things. So we are going to do the giveaway nights. We're probably going to do a Mew night very soon. I know somebody asked about the Mew giveaway. We're going to do a Mew night very soon. We will try and do a Chronos night soon. But again, as I say, they take time to prepare. We do them on a Wednesday night. So the chances of doing 2 this month are slim. We might be able to do one giveaway night. If the doctor says to me tomorrow, you can just go about your day now, you don't have to take it easy, you can spend 10 hours on a computer. If he says that to me tomorrow, then I can spend more time getting everything prepared. So don't worry, we are going to go back to our giveaway nights. I know Mags was the big winner of the last one we did, which was the cold storage wallet, but we have given away probably about $300 worth of Mew in the last 3 or 4 months, maybe 3 months actually. We have given away probably about $500 or $600 worth of Chronos coins and things as we've gone along as well. So conservatively, in the last 6 months, we've given away about $1,000. I know that's not a lot compared to a lot of other channels, but I don't know if you've looked at the numbers. We don't have 2 million followers. We've got 180,000, 188,000. So as we grow, the giveaways will grow, and we are not going to sit here and keep it all to ourselves. We're going to give you as much as we can. If you look at the conversations we have with people in our XDMs, the first thing we say is we don't want paying for the Chronos night. We don't want paying for this, but give us some tokens to give away to you. And the wallet, the Chronos Chain wallet that we have the giveaways in, it's public knowledge. You can go and have a look at it and see what's in there. You'll see we've given it all away. So with that being said, have we got to the end of the show? We have got to the end of the show. Thank you everybody for watching. I am not back tomorrow, but I'm going to be making a video today, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. Thank you to the OGs, to Kishan, to Mags, to Danny, I'm probably going to forget people now, aren't I? I always do. But thank you all for being OGs. Packer in New Zealand, who doesn't get to watch the streamlines very often, thank you all for watching. Take care. Have a great Wednesday. Oh, one last thing. The poll. Will Trump crash crypto? Will the inauguration crash crypto? 58% have said yes. 42% have said no. Only 12 votes. Terrible, terrible. You all, I know it's cold, but take your hands out of your gloves and type a bit more. So see you soon, Mags. See you soon, Bullish Bull. Everybody else, take care. See you all Thursday.